In this problem, we're dealing with some car driving. So we have this guy's filled up his gas tank. He put 12 gallons of gas in. And on that 12 gallons of gas, he checked the odometer. He had exactly 300 miles that he'd driven on this 12 gallons of gas. He knows that in the city, he gets 18 miles for every gallon he drives, and in the freeway, or every gallon he uses, and in the freeway, he'll get 30 miles per gallon for every 30 miles for every gallon he drives. That's typical. In the city, there's lots of stop and go, and you're sitting at lights, and you don't get the same fuel efficiency that you would get out on the highway. So, what we want to figure out is, based on this information, how many gallons did he burn up in the city, and how many gallons did he burn up driving on the freeway? And we're just going to use a guess and check method. We've got a table here. We're going to guess at the number of city gallons, and then we're going to figure out the number of freeway gallons for that. We'll figure out city and freeway miles from that. We'll have total miles, and we're shooting for 300. So let's see. Let's just pick a number. Let's pick, I don't know, 5. 5. No, let's pick 3. 3 city gallons. And that would mean that the remaining 12 minus 3 equal to 9 gallons were used on the freeway. Let's make sure we put gallon, so we know what we're talking about here. Now, city miles, well, if he goes 18 miles per gallon, that means on every single gallon he goes 18 miles. The city miles would be 3 gallons times 18 miles, which is 54, right? It's early in the morning. 18 times 3, 54. Okay. I'm just checking. It's a little slow here in the morning. Freeway. Well, in the freeway, it's 30 miles for every gallon. So 30 miles times 9 gallons gives us 270. And so we've got 54 plus 270 equals, well, I know it's not 300, but what is it? 54 plus 270, 324. 324. And we were shooting for 300, so over here in the check column, which can add or not, that's a no. So let's try a different one. Let's try 4. 4 gallons in the city. So in the freeway, that's 12 minus 4 equals to 8. For city miles, well, 4 gallons times 18 miles per gallon equals 72. And on the freeway, we'll have 30 miles per gallon times 8 gallons equals 240. And we've got, for our total miles, so that's the city miles was 72, plus our freeway miles, 240 equals 240 plus 72, 312. Our target is 300. So we did not hit our target. But notice, went from 324 to 312. We're getting closer. So I think we're headed in the right direction. So let's try 5. So let's see, 5. If it's 5 gallons in the city, then 12 take away 5 means 7 gallons on the freeway. Let's see, for our city miles, at 18 miles per gallon, we have 5 times 18 equals 90. That's 90 miles in the city. For our freeway miles, we've got 30 times the remaining 30 miles per gallon times the remaining 7 gallons equals 210. We have a good feeling about this. And then for our total miles, we have 90 city miles plus 210 freeway miles equals 300 miles total. And our target was still 300 miles, so check. Yes, we found it. Now, of course, that we found it, let's go back and see if we can figure out an expression that we would write to represent, or an equation we would set up to represent the situation that we could solve So say, for example, we had a similar problem, but it wasn't, a nice whole number of gallons. What if it was like 5.3 gallons or 5.21 gallons or, 5 times the square root of 7 gallons or some number that we're never going to be able to guess, then we could just solve the equation. So let's see. If we call the number of gallons, I don't know, we'll call it X. X is a popular variable. Then the freeway, you'll notice that for the city gallons, if the city gallons is X, and the freeway gallons is always 12 minus the city gallons. So this will be 12 minus X. For the city miles, well, we took the number of gallons and multiplied it by the miles per gallon. So it's always going to be 18X. Over here for the freeway miles, we always had the number of gallons, 987, multiplied by the 30 miles per gallon. So that's going to be 30. Now, it's not X. So let's go back here and call freeway gallons. We'll call this F. Okay. So it's 30F. And then for the total, well, we just took the two city miles and freeway miles and added them together. So we had 18X plus 30F. The problem here is I really don't want this F in here, but see, I can replace F with 12 minus X. So I could do 18X plus 30, 12 minus X. Now I'm getting somewhere. And all of that should equal 300 when we've got the right amount. So let's see here. 18X plus 30 times 12, 30 times, we'll use some distributive property here, 360. 360 minus 30x is 300. I'm going to subtract 360 from each side. That's going to give me, we've got 18x minus 30x. If I take 360 away from each side, I get negative 60 over here. I'll combine like terms, leaving us with negative 12x equals negative 60. And then I'll divide by negative 12 on each side, and I get x equals positive 5 gallons used in the city. All right, so again, we've gone through this process a few times. We'll just set up our guess and check table. We're going to guess at how many miles we use in the city, or gallons we use in the city, and calculate how many gallons we use in the freeway. And from there, we can calculate city miles, freeway miles, total miles. We could have flipped this up, and I could have guessed at freeway miles and calculated everything else based on that. I would have ended up with a slightly different equation in the end, but we should have ended up with the same answer. I mean, if we'd have been guessing at freeway gallons, in the end, we would have ended up with x equals 7, because that's the proper number of freeway gallons, but we would have got to the same answer in the end. And I think we're all good.